Now I would like to detailed explanation of Choeung Ek Genocidal Center, the killing fields. Introduction to Choeung Ek ***. Significance Choeung Ek is one of the most infamous killing Cambodia, where the Khmer Rouge executed over 20 people between 1975 and 1979. Scale of atrocities it was just one of more than 300 killing fields across Cambodia. Memorial Stupa ***. The glass-walled stupa houses over 5,000 skulls of victims, serving as a haunting reminder of the genocide.
2. The journey begins. The truck stop ***. Final destination * 4 prisoners. This was the last stop after being transported from Tulslang S21 prison, a notorious torture center. Frequency of transports * by 1978, up to 300 trucks arrived daily, carrying victims to their deaths.
Psychological torture * many knew they were about to die, but for some, death was a relief after enduring torture.
3. The killing process ***. Methods of execution ***. No bullets used, too expensive. Victims were bludgeoned with farm tools, bamboo sticks, or iron bars.
DDT powder * spread on bodies, sometimes while still alive, to hasten death and mask the smell of decay. Mass graves * 129 mass graves discovered in 1979, holding up to 20,000 bodies. Some pits contained 450 victims at once. 40-plus graves remain unexcavated near rice fields.
4. The brutality of the Khmer Rouge ***. Targeted victims ***. Educated people, teachers, doctors, lawyers.
Those who spoke foreign languages, wore glasses, or had soft hands, signs of intellectualism. Even Khmer Rouge soldiers accused of disloyalty, some were decapitated as traitors. Killing of women and children ***. Killing tree, babies were smashed against the trunk before being thrown into pits. Reason * to eliminate future revenge. To destroy the grass, you must rip out the roots.
5. Psychological warfare ***. Loudspeakers and music ***. Revolutionary songs played constantly to drown out screams.
At night, the site appeared to be a normal Khmer Rouge meeting to outsiders. Fluorescent lighting * executions often happened at night under harsh artificial light.
6. Discovery and aftermath ***. Uncovered in 1979 ***. Vietnamese forces and Khmer Rouge defectors exposed the horrific mass graves.
The stench of decay was overwhelming. Some graves had cracked open from gases. Pol Pot's escape ***. Fled to the Thai border and remained free until 1997. Despite the genocide, the Khmer Rouge kept Cambodia's UN seat until 1993, supported by Cold War politics. 7. Visiting Choeung Ek today ***. Memorial Park ***. Buddhist stupa with skulls on display. Fragments of bones and clothing still surface after rain.
Visitor etiquette ***. Do not touch remains. Notify staff if you find any.
Show respect. This is a grave site, not a tourist attraction. 8. Why remember? ***. Honor the victims ***. Many were innocent civilians, including children as young as 2. Prevent future genocide ***. The world's failure to intervene allowed the Khmer Rouge to keep power long after their crimes were known. Final thought ***. Choeung Ek is not just a memorial, it is a warning. The bones still speak. Will we listen? ***.
not an easy place to visit. Over 20,000 people were killed here at Choeung Ek. This was one among more than 300 killing fields throughout the country. The stupa you see now stands as the symbol of the lives lost and the brutality they inflicted upon the people of Cambodia. We will talk about stupa later. Our journey starts here at the truck stop. This is the starting point of our journey. But the end point for those who were brought here. Most were transferred here from the notorious Tol Slank jail. Many knew this was their last journey. But relief for some, as their suffering will end. In 1978, trucks began coming here every day. It was as many as 300. In here, the Chinese held their ceremonies for the dead before burial. Here was the building. DDT was stored in powder form. Sometimes victims were not actually dead when they were thrown into the pits. DDT spread on the body finished the job. The smell also disguised the stench of decay. This is the grave where 450 victims were murdered. In 1979, a few months after the Pol Pot's army was driven west by the defectors from Khmer Rouge and the Vietnamese forces, the terrible truth was revealed. 129 mass graves spread over 2.4 hectares. They almost held 20,000 victims, killed as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and pushed into the pit as if life had no meaning. Today, the largest of the mass graves have been marked and covered with a protective roof like this one. The trees and beds and the songs make you feel like this is a peaceful place. But as you walk down, you will see the terrible truth in the fragments of bones and clothes at your feet. The killing tool storage room. The Khmer Rouge did not shoot people. Bullets were expensive. They were beaten to death with whatever cheap was available. Another Pol Pot slogan. Better to kill an innocent than to spare an enemy. This path heads away from the excavated graves. Bordering one end are rice fields. It runs along the top of a dike, built to protect Choeung Ek from flooding during the rainy season. On either side of the dike are over 40 graves that are still undisturbed. Water. Some of the people buried here, like the 166 discovered in this grave, were actual Khmer Rouge soldiers with uniform and eds. They came from Vietnam border. Pol Pot had been secretive and paranoid from the start. By 1978, his pure new society was disintegrating from impossible expectations and mismanagement. The Angkor began to see enemies everywhere. A few words of accusation from a fellow worker could lead to imprisonment and death. The soldiers who lay here had been decapitated, perhaps as an example to their comrades. Another Khmer Rouge accusation: Vietnamese head, Cambodian body. What you see here is nothing compared to the horrors found by those who first discovered this place. The stench was unbearable. The graves were mounds like infected swords covering the earth. They swelled as gases were released by the decaying bodies. Some graves had cracked open, revealing dreadful sights. Please treat the graves with respect. The threat to Pol Pot's pure new society included educated people, teachers, doctors, lawyers, anyone who spoke a foreign language or had soft hands or wore glasses. When victims' heads were smashed, teeth were also pulled out during torture or just fell. As the body decayed, it's hard to tell. After all, the business at Choeung Ek was murder. This tree looks very much like a Bodhi tree, the type of tree that Buddha sat under when he attained enlightenment. But no miracles happened here. The magic was sound, loudspeakers. Hung in branches broadcast revolutionary songs throughout Choeung Ek. At night, it is said, they gave outsiders the impression of a Khmer Rouge meeting. In fact, the music was to drown out the screams of people.
ទៅនឹងក៏ជាមួយទៅហូរដែរហើយចុះកាលឲ្យគាត់ខ្ញុំមិនទៅតែគាត់ទៅប្រមាណដល់កន្លែងចុះពូមានដែរត្រូវបានដឹកបញ្ជាឲ្យវាយដូចបានបញ្ជាឲ្យខ្ញុំវាយទោះថាមិនឯងដាច់ខាតមកគេមានបាក់ហើយបើយើងមិនថាដាច់ខាតបានអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវថាដាច់ខាតបាទអញ្ចឹងវាយមួយមើលគេថាមនុស្សដែលគេនៅចុងក្រោយចឹងក្រោយទី1អញ្ចឹងណាឲ្យវាយបាទដាច់ខាតយើងយកដៃពីអ្នកវាយហ្នឹងវាយនៅអីទៅដៃសូកកងលាក់ជើងដៃហ្នឹងគឺទុកប្រចាំការហ្នឹងហើយមានប្រវត្តិមានអីគេមិននឹងអាចស្អាតដល់យកមកដាក់ទូលុតជង្គង់នឹងដៃហ្នឹង
Summary: the haunting legacy of Choeung Ek killing fields. 1. A peaceful facade masking horror ***. Located 17 killing fields south of Phnom Penh, Choeung Ek appears serene today, a stark contrast to its past as one of Cambodia's most infamous killing fields under the Khmer Rouge, 1975 to 1979. The site was originally a Chinese burial ground, repurposed by the regime for mass executions due to its isolation and existing graves. 2. The Khmer Rouge's brutality, ***. Year 0 marked the start of a genocidal campaign. Cities were emptied, families torn apart, and millions forced into slave labor camps. Targeted victims, teachers, doctors, monks, intellectuals, and even those wearing glasses, seen as enemies of the state. Methods of murder. Victims were blinded, bound, and bludgeoned. Bullets were deemed too expensive. Killing tree, babies were smashed against the trunk to prevent future revenge. Mass graves held women and children, many stripped and abused before execution. 3. Choeung Ek's grim evidence, ***. A survivor's diary hidden in tree roots recorded victims' names and prayers later recovered after the regime fell. Memorial Stupa houses 8,000 plus skulls, many showing trauma from blunt weapons or bullets. Or, why remember, ***. The site serves as a warning against extremism and a place for mourning and reflection. ***. The skulls are silent witnesses. The trees still whisper their stories. ***.
បាទខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបថាខ្ញុំក៏បានសុំទោសដែរបាទនៅវិមានជាងឯងក៏ខ្ញុំអត់ធូរនិយាយសុំទោសហើយជាព្រះទៀតមិនសុំទោសខ្ញុំមិនកំណត់អីនឹងធ្វើដល់ថ្នាក់ហ្នឹងទេតែគិតមិនផុតពីគេបញ្ជាឲ្យខ្ញុំធ្វើបើខ្ញុំមិនធ្វើខ្ញុំមិនចេតនាទេតែសូមមានលក្ខខណ្ឌអស់លោកទាំងអស់សូមទៅកើតជាមនុស្សសាយថ្មីទៀតដែរតែពូមានទស្សនៈដែរចំពោះការកាត់ទោសឲ្យបញ្ចប់រយៈពេល